Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This store is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Get signed up for their email distribution list to find out when the store will be opening, what their hours will be, and most importantly, what they will have in inventory at abvbarrelshop.com. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebartogo.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss whether or not Amazon will eventually be the leader when it comes to alcohol distribution. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Dimitri Kane, Kathy Cool, and Jim Fosnot.
Hey, gang, what's up?
How we doing? Going on?
Good. So, yeah, it's interesting to talk about, and it is not something that they can do now. But can Amazon get to the point where they kind of start distributing? And I guess it would be state by state, and some states probably would never allow that. But that doesn't mean that Amazon can't become the biggest player in distribution. So we'll get to that after the break. For right now, though, Kathy had said there's something she wants to talk about. What is that, Kathy?
So I went on the bourbon event to Kentucky Artisan last weekend with you guys. Super awesome event. Some point between leaving the hotel and going to breakfast with the Robinsons and the Ewalds, I blew a blood vessel in my eye. And I had no idea. And it was huge. And it was a huge bloody eye. And no one said a word. Are you the type of person that lets somebody know like there's a booger hanging out their nose or their barn doors open? Or, that they might not be aware of? Or do you just let them walk around with like the lettuce on their tooth?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I was part of the event last weekend and I saw the bloody eye, but I assume that you knew about it. I mean, I would have thought if you went to the bathroom or anything like that, you would have seen it yourself, or someone would have told you about it if it wasn't a case of that. So I don't want to. You know how it is when so say that had been addressed at 9:00 a.m. and then you got 20 something people and every person saying, "Hey, Kathy, do you have that? Do you know your eyes all blood?" I don't want you. It can be detrimental to you being there, because then you start getting self-conscious about it, and you can't change it. You're not gonna be able to fix that. Now, a booger hanging out, that's different. You can tell them, they can address it right there, sure. But the bloody eye thing, I think you're uncomfortable saying anything because you don't want to be the 20th time you've had to answer that question.
Every single employee at my office pointed it out.
Yeah. Did you like that?
Well, sometimes they're like, it kind of looks badass. I'm like, yeah, I look badass. I blinked really hard. Like, it's one of those things you don't even know how it happens.
Right.
And I saw it when I went back to the hotel after breakfast. I was like, holy crap. So when I saw Adina, I was like, Adina, why didn't you tell me? I look like I'd been punched in the eye. And she goes, I just thought you knew. But a booger and the fly open, those are different.
Right. I think so too.
I also think it depends on your relationship with the person. So, if it's a complete stranger, it's going to be different than if it's somebody you really know. If it's a casual acquaintance, I'd probably say something. With someone I really know, I probably want to embarrass them. And so I'd either call it out really publicly, or if it's a complete stranger, I'm just going to keep walking, not say a word.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's situational. It's kind of like, I think what Steve was saying, if it's something like you can fix it right then in the moment, or say something, just be like, hey, I don't care who you are. If I see something, I'll just be like, I'll pull you to the side real quick and say, hey, I just want to let you know. But if it's something that's like, you have no power over, it's like, it's like, who really cares at the end of the day?
Yeah.
It's not kind of,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Dimitri, you got a bottle of bourbon stuck in your beard there. I was bottling this afternoon. I didn't realize I got one stuck in there.
If you ever see me showing up with something like a bottle in my beard, don't say anything because I'm, trying to get through security. That's at the movie theaters. Like people,
you can fit a handle in there. Yeah.
You can fit a lot. You just put it right here behind it.
Right.
Nobody's wanding or grabbing around the beard.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Get a hide flask in there. McNeil, you didn't say anything to Kathy about the eye. It just seems like you're so.
I also assumed that she knew, because if that happened to me, it'd be because I threw up very hard and I would be very aware of the situation.
Oh, God.
I thought she knew, and there's no point of telling somebody about something they already know, so I just didn't bring it up. But I agree with you guys. If it's something fixable, absolutely tell somebody. If they can't fix it, I'm not saying anything. Like, lettuce in your teeth is different than a chipped tooth. Like, they can't fix that in the moment, so we'll let that
go. So if I'm in a place, like a public place, and an employee, like I've seen employees with their zippers down,
right,
I'll mention it to another person that works there and be like, hey, you got to go tell X over there that his barn door is wide open. I don't know if that's like his way or what, but you got to work on that. Because I figure if I'm that guy or that person with their zipper down, I want to know.
Right.
People are oblivious when it's yourself. Like, you're like, oh crap, I did not know that. Thank you for telling me. People are usually grateful when you tell them.
Yeah.
But then if you're walking around the store and your zipper's down, you realize all of a sudden, then it's how do you like casually zip it up without making it, obvious to everybody.
Yeah, like, do you turn around? Do you run to the bathroom?
Oh crap, my zipper's down. How do I casually like zip this up without looking like I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing?
Mm-hmm. See, I think after being a dad of multiple children, and I just am like, I'm just gonna fix it and just keep on going because I had to fix it with my children. Like, the amount of time people stop to tell me that they're like, your son has a black eye, and I'm just like, yeah. Should have seen he nailed a post coming in. We're trying to scoop him up. And then it's like you lose one. So it's like, I'm just like, we're going to get a solution now and move on.
Yeah.
It's better for your sanity that way.
Yeah. Well, all right, gang, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? We're starting with Kathy. Kathy, what do you got there?
I'm going to work on my Wilderness Trail bourbon.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, wow,
big desk.
That might have won a few episodes worth.
Kathy just wins for the night. We can all quit.
What the heck?
That in your trunk
before I hit it on the desk.
Yeah, well, it did.
Yeah, was that the desk or was that the cork?
I did the cork and then it hit the desk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard to tell. Then it just sounded great, though. Whatever it was.
Well, none of that really happened. That was the cork, and you can.
I don't understand why hitting the desk sounds like a cork pop over at your house.
I think she did it right at the same time, and it sounded like
it was.
Yeah.
Because
it sounded like desk.
Yeah.
And then it went.
That's her cork pop is the desk. Yeah. Okay. Jim, what's the ruling on this? I this is unprecedented.
I'm going to my weakest bottle because I can't beat that if you're going to call that a cork pop. I'm going to a screw top on my next one. So I don't.
Yeah.
It sounded like nothing but desk, but you guys are like, oh, great cork pop.
We don't have instant replay. That's the thing. We're going to have to invest in instant replay for the network.
You have to send this file off to Tim.
Yeah.
So he can do some audio research.
Yeah, this is good for Tim. Yeah, this is an afternoon for Tim. So. Yeah, we're going to give her credit for it because it wasn't caught initially. It was caught after the fact. It's like Lance Armstrong. I mean, we may strip her of the title years down the road, but for right now, she's gonna potentially win this thing. So, Jim, what do you got, man?
I'm going with a sample of a Woodford Reserve. This is a barrel pick I did a few years back, and I came across some sample bottles. It's a screw top, so she's going to win. It's at 64.1 proof, though, so I won't remember her winning before too long.
Okay. All right, McNeil, how about you?
I also have a screw top, and it's the old Fitzgerald, like the $16 one. Love it.
The real deal old Fitzgerald, not the decanter one. All right, Dimitri, you're taking off tonight, so that means it's up to me next. I've got square 6 here.
So you got a screw top too?
No, this is actual cork pop, but it's not going to be at that level, I don't think. So here we go. No, nothing there. So Kathy, you win that thing. How about that?
That's the best desk bump of the night.
Yep. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about Amazon. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot in the greater St. Louis area. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only focuses on single barrels. We aren't open just yet, but our plan is to have the most diverse single barrel offerings from our many friends in the world of bourbon. By signing up for a weekly email, you will know our entire inventory we have on hand. In addition to single barrels, we'll have a tasting bar and a gift shop featuring logo merchandise for both the shop and the ABV network, as well as a full curriculum of bourbon education classes. Additionally, we'll use the gift shop to feature products from our partners in the world of bourbon, companies like Art Eatable Chocolates and Old Man Bay Signs. Head over to ABV Barrel Shop to sign up for our email and text distribution list so you can stay in the know. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Saying Bourbon Daily?
Yeah.
Okay, you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
No, your name first.
My name.
You are. Yeah.
Hi, this is Jason Souter.
And
you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Perfect.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about if Amazon can take over alcohol distribution.
Yes, we are. So the things that you would say would be the biggest obstacles to this would be, having a network to be able to deliver that. Well, Amazon has that. Having a desire to get into that thing. Amazon has expressed they'd like to do that. And then having money. It's going to take a lot of money. You're going to have to change legislation. That's expensive. And you have to be able to work with the right people. Well, Amazon has the connections. They certainly have the money. Can they be a player in this field? Will that ever be allowed? And because they are so big, and I ordered something from Amazon at 6:00 in the morning this week, a phone, and by 1:00 I had it. I didn't pay any extra money, anything like that. I'm an Amazon Prime member, but so they have a crazy network already.
Here's what you'll see happen right away, and it's already like California's already doing this. Delivery within state will be what will happen first, and it's going to be a state by state basis because you already have certain states that different, Instacart or Drizzle can deliver alcohol.
Right.
And Amazon is going to deliver from their brick and mortar stores. So that's what they're doing in California. They can deliver from their brick and mortar stores, but you also have to be able to walk into that store or that warehouse to buy it in person in California for them to be able to ship it. Okay. So even if it's just a warehouse and they're shipping alcohol there, you can go in and into there buy alcohol. But the problem will be state to state because crossing state lines, what happens is tax dollars. And so that's what every state, they're going to have to change the laws in every state and have lawsuits in every state because the states aren't giving up their tax dollars willingly. It's not going to happen.
So I think it would be a scary thought if that ever, just from a manufacturer standpoint, it would kind of be a scary thought because I think it would possibly hurt the craft industry considerably, because it's another massive player coming to the table. But I also think that it's kind of an interesting, it's like, who would they distribute? Because you look at all the big brands, most of the brands are, I think it's like 80% of the market is taken up by just a few large conglomerates, and they already have a lot of franchise agreements with large distributors. So you're looking at Glazers, you're looking at Breakthrough Beverage, you're looking at or the Warts conglomerate. There's so many different big distributors already out there that have all the big brands. So it would take a tremendous amount of money, I think, to pull those brands from them. So it's kind of an interesting, who would they distribute?
Yeah. Now, could they
Buy
maybe
it out?
what?
They have the money. Wouldn't they just buy them all?
They couldn't. They couldn't do. They don't have the kind of money to buy. Their alcohol is too big of a business to do. And I get what you're saying, Dimitri, but my point is, because you still have a 3-tier system, the distributor still couldn't ship it directly to the consumer. It would have to go to a retailer, and Amazon is that retailer.
Right. That was going to be my point too. That the distributor can stay in place. It's just it is just a different way of selling. So the one that really is most severely impacted would be liquor stores. And of course they have, they work with the legislators too. And, they're not ever going to be in favor of this stuff. So, but you just don't know. And I don't know what Amazon's, how they do this. Do you just literally do it state by state? You find the lowest hanging fruit, the one that's interested in working with you, and then you go in there and you try to get some success stories, and then you hope to build then state by state. Is that how Amazon would do this? I would guess that's got to be the best way, right?
Yeah. What's crazy is state by state how the laws. So even here in Missouri, where we're at, Steve, you can ship wine within the state as a retailer. Right. You can get a license and you can ship it within the state. You can't ship beer and you can't ship liquor within the state. And you can't ship any of it across state lines in Missouri out. You can ship stuff in from certain states. But it's just weird how it's, why is beer different than wine, different than, but California, I think it's only wine that Amazon can ship right now, but they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think about the idea of them just buying somebody? They have the money. They could potentially buy multiple distributors, and that might be the way that they get into multiple states.
But then they can't ship, because you'd have to go to a retailer first, and they can't own a distributorship and the retailer. So
you could just set up shell companies. One's their retailer, one's their distributor. They have no problem doing that.
They could possibly do that. Yeah, they could possibly do that, but who knows?
It would definitely change porch pirating.
Oh yeah,
porch pirating. Well, I would assume that part of any state that's going to, and of course, then it becomes up to the van operator or the drivers, their willingness to leave it. But I would assume any of them is going to have to be listed as over, 21 must be signed.
They all have to have signatures.
I would assume. So you can't just leave it on the
felony for the driver if they leave it. So it's like in Missouri, if they leave a signature required, it's a $3,000 fine and a felony. So you're not going to have a lot of drivers leaving that one behind. There's no one there to sign for it.
Right. So that shouldn't be a factor. Of course, it always is, and that's there'd be some incident that would happen somewhere, and then the other side, who's ever against it, would of course make it seem like that's happening every week. But so there's a lot of obstacles.
Yeah, and if they have to do that, if an Amazon driver has to get a signature, that's going to significantly slow them down, because they're so fast, Steve. Like you said, you got your package in one day. They're just slinging stuff on porches. They don't care what it is. So it's going to be logistically great for them because they have their own fleet and drivers, but also a problem when they actually have to stop and get signatures. So that would be interesting the way they do that, handle that. Probably a whole different fleet of drivers, I would think.
I was gonna say they probably have a different route, an alcohol route that
Yeah, because aren't their drivers gig drivers? They're paid gig work. They're paid.
Some of them are in the holidays, but I'm close enough to a warehouse that we actually get the little Amazon Prime trucks coming through these neighborhoods.
Yeah. But sometimes it is just people in a car, literally like their personal car around the holidays. All bets are off when it comes to around the holidays. Yeah. Yeah.
Kathy, I thought you said something completely different.
So did I. Truck drivers. Yeah.
I'm like, drivers can sometimes be really rude, but
So the last question about this one is, and then I want us to, initial thought, and then maybe think through it a little bit. As a consumer, would we be excited about this if it's announced tomorrow in our state? Amazon can ship like a full service liquor store. Anything in there, you do have to pay for it. You have to be 21, all that kind of stuff. They'll check IDs. Are you into it? I think initially it would be, the idea is good, but then the more you look into it, I mean, that just gives a big power broker more power. And next thing you know, it's never good when a big conglomerate has the capability. Then, if they were in Missouri and all they could do things as we outlined, they could ship anywhere in Missouri that was legal. Anybody could ship in, and any distillery could theoretically ship out if there's a reciprocating state. I don't think it would be good.
What do they even have to ship though? The stuff that's hard to get is still going to be hard to get.
Well, let me throw that question out to you. What happens to allocated?
What happens to allocated? I think they love it.
Well, are people sitting there just waiting, searching inventories of different stores all day and waiting? Okay, they got this in, boom, ship it to me. It gets so much harder to drive those prices up so much higher if that allocated crap ended up on.
There's one thing Amazon knows how to do, and that's to make money. So suddenly through Amazon, your BTAC is $800. So I think they're smart enough to know how to figure out how to cut out the middleman.
Figure that out.
Yeah.
Personally, though, I would be getting divorced because I already have an Amazon problem. So I don't need to be throwing liquor in the cart too. Chris would murder me.
Easy. It would be so easy to throw the liquor in the cart.
I'd be like, don't worry about what came today. And it's like 5 bottles and one thing we actually needed.
By the way, Steve, our bar stools came today.
Oh, they did? All right.
When I got home, they were waiting in front of my garage for me.
Were they delivered by Amazon?
They were.
Yes, they were. In fact, yes. Yeah. When I got that phone the same day I ordered it, Jim said, that's the best cult around or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I don't know. It's something to watch out for. Nothing's, imminent when it comes to Amazon and being in the liquor game. I know they want to be there, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye out on it. And whether our eyes bloodshot or unbloodshot, we'll keep an eye on it. All right.
One eye, maybe.
Yeah. We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. We're starting with Kathy. Kathy, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook. I am Kathy Cool.
Kathy Cool. All right. Dimitri.
You can find me at Dimitri _ on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me at Nobleton's on Facebook and Instagram, or you can swing out to beautiful Marthasville and try some more wonderful spirits.
Perfect. Jim, how about you?
You can find me on Facebook at Jim Fosnot, on Instagram at FozJim, FAZZJM. You can find me at the ABV Barrel Shop building stuff and painting things with Steve most days right now. And you can find me on Eventbrite hosting Jim's Big Pour on Friday nights doing single barrel tastings.
Perfect. McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, is abvnetwork.com. Everything that we do is out there. About 3,000 shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's upcoming Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.